Hey everybody, COVID Kading here, checking in again. As far as how Jane and I are feeling, Jane is feeling a lot better than she did for the previous 2 days. Things have cleared, fever broke. She's still got a cough. That comes with having asthma and then getting something like this. Me, my sense of smell is still kaput. My sense of taste is a little better, not fantastic, but man, let me tell you, when I wake up first thing in the morning, I am drier in the mouth than I think I ever have been in my whole life. Waking up and doing the whole smack thing, it's like trying to pull apart a peanut butter sandwich that's been stuck in a snowbank all night long. So there's a visual for you. I wanted to get more into the things that people are talking about with regards to masks, the kill rate of COVID-19, the infection rate, do you take it seriously, don't you, blah, blah, blah. I have been on so many different sites, scientific opinion pieces, at least 20. I've got them all written down in my office. If anybody wants all the places that I got my information from, I'm happy to share them. It's very, very difficult on any given day to get people to agree with each other, even in regards to science. And that's what a lot of people keep saying. Well, all these different organizations that we're supposed to trust don't agree with each other and their facts don't correlate. They don't agree, blah, 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 blah. Who do we trust? You know, it comes down to don't trust the man, whoever the fuck the man is. Don't trust the government. Really? Okay, you know what? I think it's a pretty good sign that our governments, the ones that I'm aware of, including our own here in Canada, have been saying things like, please wear masks, please socially distance, please wash frequently, please sanitize, take care of each other. They're not saying, you know what, go out and have a free-for-all, we don't care, mingle, lick doorknobs, hump each other's legs, life goes on, carry on as normal. They're actually saying, go through these protective measures. Is everything they're saying and doing perfect? No. Do I agree with all of the measures that they're telling people have to be put in place? No, not all of them. But they're not trying to kill us. Who are they going to govern if there's no one to govern? How are bankers going to make their money if there's nobody to bank with? Etc., etc., etc. It kind of goes against their better function and judgment to try and kill us. So I have a little bit of trust when it comes to our elected oppressors. And as far as more people trying to dominate and control us, we've been electing oppressors and being dominated under a system of order for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years. What's different? Anyways, without getting too much onto that. What I did find, I tried to find a whole lot of things that were as close to agreeance as possible with regards to data regarding COVID. And what I got here is death rates definitely depend on age group, and they definitely depend on underlying health. For example, the death rates for senior citizens, much higher than the young. That makes sense. Death rates depending on underlying health, cardiovascular, diabetes, respiratory disease, high blood pressure. Yeah, that makes sense. Global cases right now, we're over 62 million. That's confirmed as of 11 o'clock this morning. Deaths, we're at 1.5 million. Recoveries, almost 41 million. Now you hear statistics like that, and most people say, well, look at the recovery as opposed to the death rate. Like, what are we panicking about? Apathy. That's what I'm panicking about. Apathy. You have to be an apathetic, I don't even want to use the pejorative. You have to be a really apathetic person to just casually brush aside the death of 1.5 million people. And you have to be an incredibly selfish human being to say, I don't care if I get people sick. I don't even care if they have underlying conditions. I want the right to go out and do what I want to do at any given time in the middle of a pandemic. And I'm perfectly ready to risk people getting sick and possibly dying because my freedoms, my rights. And sane people should listen to you. Why? Because you don't care about others. You're making it incredibly clear that it's all about you. If you walk into a restaurant, forgive this very, very crude analogy, but I think it's fairly accurate. If you walk into a restaurant and pull out your member and slap it down on a table and tell all the patrons there to suck it, how readily do you think that offer is going to be taken up? So if you just casually announce that you don't care about anybody but yourself, you don't care about wearing masks, you refuse to do it, you don't care about social distancing protocols or any of this other stuff, it's all a bunch of bullshit, then why should anybody care about your selfishness? I care about my fellow human beings. So regardless of what the death rate is, regardless of how serious this may or may not be to reasonably healthy people, that leaves a whole lot of people that this is still very, very, very serious towards, including my mother-in-law, who's 87 years old and 72 pounds soaking wet and has COPD. If I or Jane go anywhere near her right now, she's going to get sick and she will die. But my rights, right? And again, the whole, oh, I've refused to wear a mask, it goes against my freedoms, blah, blah, blah. Again, you're just proving all you care about is you, because whether masks are completely effective against this or not, it's trying to do something to not get other people sick. And you're saying, I don't even want to do that. Well, then go fuck yourself. Like, I have no patience regarding all of this whining and crying. I've got COVID. I'm not dying. I'm going to come through this. But if I go out, I'm going to get other people sick. And somebody I get sick might have diabetes. They might have respiratory disease. They might be elderly. So what? My freedoms are so important that somebody dying, no guilt on my conscience? Oh, there's only 1.5 million people dead. That's not that much. Wow. To casually dismiss that kind of human death? You might want to rethink your attitudes and perspective on life. Just putting that out there. So, that's the ramble for today. Amy is still not sick, which is great. And hopefully Jane and I are just going to continue to kick this thing's ass. I'll check in again soon. Be good to each other.